Hello, this is Jake with Optimus Forex, and welcome to our Trade Interceptor mobile app introductory video. Trade Interceptor is a highly sophisticated Forex trading platform which provides real-time trading technology to retail and professional traders worldwide. Trade Interceptor offers professional trading tools such as technical indicators, studies, and graphical tools loaded into an intuitive user interface. Now, Trade Interceptor can be found across multiple versions, these being a desktop variant, an iOS mobile app, an Android mobile app, as well as a BlackBerry mobile app. Now, for our introductory video, we will be using the Android app, but again, this can be found across all the major devices. Now, to start off, when you first open up the mobile app version of Trade Interceptor, you'll be presented with the quote board. Now, as you can see, this is a typical quote board as you might expect. It is essentially a spreadsheet of some of the top contracts that can be potentially traded on this platform. Now, as you can see in the top left-hand corner, it is possible to edit our quote board simply with the tap of a finger. Tap on the edit button, and we can now rearrange our quotes as we like. So if I simply tap my finger towards the left of the contract with the 3 horizontal lines and drag it around, I can simply rearrange my quote board. It's also possible to add contracts to our quote board. Simply tap the plus button in the top right hand corner, and this will bring up our database of all the potential contracts we can add to our quote board. For example, if I wanted to add a crypto, simply tap on the crypto field, and then all I need to do is enable the contract that I'd like to add. So as you can see, the top field is Bitcoin Cash. If I click on the toggle button, this will turn this contract on. And then if I tap on done, and done one more time, as you can see on the very bottom now, our Bitcoin Cash contract is added to our quote board. Again, we can also add a contract without editing it by simply tapping in the top right hand corner on the plus sign. And again, this will allow us to add a quote board. Also found on the quotes tab is the trading button. If we tap on this, as you can see, we get our quote board contracts here with essentially instant access trading buttons that we can trade directly through our quote page. As you can see, you have buy and sell buttons for every contract on our quote board. And if we tap on, let's say, the sell button for our Euro US dollar, as you can see, it does default to a market order at 1,000 lots, and it will show your stop loss and your target profit levels, as well as which account you'll be placing the trade on. If you'd like to edit any of these fields, simply click on the edit button. Once in the edit button, you will be brought over to the trading tab. Here we can change a couple of different settings. As you can see, the S/L, this is our stop loss. We can change this based off of price, pips, or percent of equity. Now you can change these manually by simply typing in the dialog box, deleting the default option, and then entering in whatever you like. Once you have it entered in, press done. And then we can press OK. Now, as you can see, our stop loss is about at 10% of our equity. For our target profit, for example, you can do the same thing, go in here and manually change this as you like. It is also possible to take your target profit or your take profit level manually off of the chart. And what I mean by that is, as you can see, there is a crosshair button to the right of our dialog box. If we enable this, it will turn orange, and we can use a crosshair to manually select a price based on the chart below. So with this enabled, I'll now tap my finger somewhere on the chart, and as you can see, a crosshair comes up, and on our y-axis, it does show the price level associated with our current crosshair. We can drag it to our specific level of our chart, and now our take profit section will automatically configure based off of where the crosshair was ended up on our chart. So if we press OK, now we have our stop loss and our take profit level set. And if we'd like to, we can now change the quantity. Again, you can do so manually by entering it in the dialog box. Or you can also choose from the default options by tapping on the arrow to the right of our dialog box and selecting one of the various quantities in this field. Once we have everything selected, we can press the OK button. Now this is for instant execution. You can also do so for pending orders. So if you don't want to place a market order, you can come in here and once again, you can edit. We can filter by buy or sell now. Again, you can manually place a price level by using the crosshair, enabling it, and then ending up your crosshair on the chart. Whatever level you end up at, this is where the price level will configure to. Now hitting back, we'll be brought back to our trading tab. And that pretty much covers it for our trading tab. Let's head over to the accounts tab now. Clicking on accounts at the bottom will bring us over to our accounts page. This is where you can, in one location, find all the positions associated with your current account. You can also go to your account history and it will file a trading report for you. You can also switch accounts here if you do utilize multiple trading accounts. If for whatever reason you need to delete or add an account, simply click on the edit button and you can delete or add any accounts associated with this platform. If you don't have a live account, you can do so by clicking on the Open Live Account button. You can directly apply for an account right through the app. It makes it very easy to do so. All you need to do is follow the 3 easy steps that are listed for you on the platform. Heading back now, you can also see your account balance, the equity of your account, your margin level, your actual margin, as well as your account balance. Now it does list the positions you currently have open, so you can go in, tap each active position, and it'll give you a breakdown of the position, your stop loss levels, your take profits, the commissions, the swap levels, and the active price in the market. Heading back now, we can also, in the top left, we get some messages for our account if you do have any. You can switch your accounts by clicking on the little toggle button in the top right. And as I mentioned before, you can add accounts by clicking on the plus button. This will allow you to create a demo account, so you can filter by the type of currency you utilize, as well as your leverage, and you can manually set initial funds for yourself, so you can mess around and test with a demo account. Alright, so that pretty much covers it for the accounts tab. Let's head over to trades. This is another location where you can see all the active orders that you have in the market. This functions similar to the accounts page, but we can also look at pending orders here. So if you do have any pending orders in the market, this is where you would look for that. Again, this functions very similar to the accounts page, but this is primarily focused on trades only. Now to our right, once again on the new tab, we have news. This will constantly update with new news articles that are published out that could potentially affect the market. So if we click on a news event, although this one is brief, as you can see, it gives you the exact description of the news event. If we go through some specific ones here by scrolling down, now as you can see, this is a more detailed news event. There is an entire article in this section, unlike some of the others. So it depends on the news event. If there is a lot of information that is backed up through the news event, the entire article will be listed in this section. If we head over to the More tab, this is where some of the more advanced features are listed. As you can see, there's alarms. You can set alarms for certain price levels and for indicators. You can see any active alarms you currently have open, or you can see any alarms that have been triggered in the past. If you'd like, you can add new alarms by clicking on the plus button in the top right hand corner of the platform. And then you can manually configure expressions based off of how your alerts would trigger. So for example, we can change the type of feed. and then the symbol the alert is for, and the price type. These are simply for price levels. You can also filter by indicator and select from your specific indicator that you'd like. Once an indicator hits and it triggers, the alarm will alert and allow you to know that your alert was triggered based off of the indicator that you selected. We can also filter by value. So if we have a specific value that we'd like to enter in when our alarm is triggered, this can be done. Once set on the left expression, you'll want to press done. And then we'll need to set our condition so we can have crossover less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. And then for your right, you can also add another expression. So again, this can be based off a certain value, price, or indicator. Once you have everything set, you'll want to press done. And then you'll want to create your alarm. Now, for your alarm condition, you can set it based off of a closed bar, whether or not you want that on and off. And once everything is configured, press submit. And as you can see, we now have an active alarm. Heading back to the More tab now, we also have the economic calendar. This is very similar to the news app, but it just shows a breakdown based off of date, months, years of all the economic events and the economic events leading up to the current date. The trend risk scanner. This can be used to potentially identify trends in the market. As you can see, you can filter based off of time, security, risk reward, and feed. If you click on it, it does allow you to open up that current contract based off of its trend. You can open a position for that, and you can manually place a trade directly through the trend risk scanner, or you can open up the position in a chart, and this will allow you to open up a chart directly for that contract. Since we are on charts now, as you can see, you can trade directly through a chart as we did show briefly before. You can show the positions you have. If we did have a position for this contract, it would be shown on the actual chart. And by clicking on the chart tab, we can actually edit and add different tools into our mobile app here. Unlike many mobile apps that just strictly give you the chart, Trade Interceptor allows you to completely add indicators, draw, use various tools such as Fibonacci, all directly within the mobile app. So as you can see, we have a crosshair. This will allow us to move our crosshair and show the different price levels for both our Y and X axis. We do have a ruler that we can expand to show our bars and pips. We can change the type of charts. By default, it should be on a candle. We can change it to a bar chart, a line chart, volume candles. Here we have a grid, which actually will allow us to open up 4 separate charts at one different time. Each chart can be applied with a different contract. So if you are monitoring multiple contracts at one time, this will definitely give you the bang for your buck. If we keep on going further, we have indicators that we can add to our charts. As you may have saw before, there are an entire list of indicators here that we can utilize and add to our platform. The list goes on, so feel free to look at this on your own and check out the indicators that may be right for you. Heading back now, we can also add alarms directly to our chart. We can add price alarms or indicators alarms. These will function as the same alarm field that we showed before. This is just a way to directly input one through the chart. Now, if we keep on going, we do have our indicator tool now. As you can see, there are many different tools that we can apply. As I mentioned, there's Fibonacci, we have Gann lines, Elliott wave, ABCD patterns. There's much more. Scrolling through, you can see all the different tools we have available to us. And a couple other options here. We can edit the colors and the themes of our different charts. It is possible to link charts. That way, if we are utilizing multiple charts, we can have them all linked to the same time interval. That way, when we scroll through the market, the time and price levels will adjust accordingly based off of the one chart, so they will all scale at the same scale. And then we also have different templates that we can apply to our charts. As you can see, there's one for Bollinger. If we apply this, it will remove any specific indicators that we had previously. But this is a good way to utilize different indicators without having to mess around too much. The default template will be applied and it functions as you would expect. Now, if we'd like to get out of this chart section, we'll simply need to go back, and this will bring us back to whatever window we open it through. So if we opened it through the quote board as you saw originally, we would go back to the quote board. But since we opened up our contract on the trend risk scanner, it automatically brings us right back to trend risk scanner. Just a few more topics to touch on in the trend risk scanner. You can refresh, so if any new trends are available, all information will be updated. And it is also possible to configure the trend risk scanner by simply clicking on the cog in the top right hand corner. And you can filter based off of various timescales and different feeds. Now heading back, we do have settings that we can configure. There are a ton of different settings. We can change theme color. We can change how our application is quit after being inactive for so long. We can have news notifications directly to our device. There's different trading modes that we can utilize. We can specify quantity types, history bars, time zones, potential profits lost. We can configure candles. As you can see, there are a lot of settings that can be configured on this app, many of which you don't expect from a mobile app, which is why Trade Interceptor is so great. You get the advanced features you would expect in a desktop app, all packed within your mobile device. Now the last few fields here, as you can see, there are different languages that we can utilize, the default being English, Chinese Simplified, and Chinese Traditional. There is an entire help section as well. So if you click on the help section, there's actually an entire FAQ section for every single feature on the mobile app. If you'd like to know more, simply click on the field and you will get an entire breakdown of that feature and a lengthy explanation. So as you can see, if you need help with modifying a position, simply click on the Modify Position FAQ section and it will give you a description on exactly how to modify your position. Now finally, heading back to the More section, we can also contact live support directly through this app. As you can see, there is a live chat field. You can directly email, you can send suggestions, or you can call directly through your phone. If you ever need live help, simply click on live chat and we can chat with a representative instantly directly through our phone app here. But that just about covers it for a basic introduction of the Trade Interceptor mobile app for Android. Again, this can be found on desktop, Android, iOS, and BlackBerry. They are all universal and they can be synchronized to work with one another. Thank you for watching our video, and we hope this gave you a basic introduction onto the benefits of Trade Interceptor.